My name is Doogie. How has Eljamel impacted on my life? Since he took a scalpel to my wife's brain, he took my life away as well. But he did leave me a label. Full-time carer, 24/7, no experience needed, no wages, no holidays, and no one's interested.
I retired early so I can help Shan, which has now impacted financially on us, as I don't have a small NHS pension. I now do most of the duties in the house, such as cleaning, ironing, washing, and driving, as Shan's chronic pain prevents her from doing heavy tasks. I will never forgive myself for allowing this man to operate on my wife.
Because of most chronic pain and our disabilities, we have to plan well in advance for any trips or visits we have to take. In addition to this, both me and Mo have never had any intimate contact for at least 14 years. And I am also a primary caregiver, which has given me some health problems, including high blood pressure.
Grace's husband. We married in 1997. The operation that changed our life was in February 1999. Everything is governed by Grace's pain. Our life has become on the day. Not a day goes by without me living in Grace's pain, all because of the butcher of NHS Tayside.
I'm Carling Duffin's husband. Carling underwent 13 brain operations to fix a blocked shunt. This was a truly worrying and stressful time. I felt completely hopeless, but seeing our two daughters, watching their mum getting taken away in an ambulance time and time again, was truly heartbreaking and unforgiving.
Hello, I'm Richard. What difference has it made with the operations I've had from Dr. Eljamel? Well, I've been in severe pain for the last 12 years. I have severe walking problems. I have problems with my, obviously, working bits. I get very angry. I get very irritated. I did have a lovely partner who helped me through this, but sadly she passed away, so now I have to continue myself. I can't work anymore. All I do is volunteer work, not is it. I'm completely and utterly ruined.
My name is Sophie and I'm the daughter of Jules Rose. The impact of Eljamel and his actions has been incredibly difficult on myself, my sister, my mum, us together as a family. What we went through, me and my sister especially, we were so young, and we had to help and support my mum through what she was going through, and still support her when this is nothing that she should have gone through in the first place. Neither all the victims as well.
I'm Angela, and due to my husband David's surgeries by Eljamel and NHS Tayside, I have been the family breadwinner for 15 years. This has meant financial and emotional hardship for us all. I've less time to do the hobbies I used to enjoy, and we're unable to enjoy a family holiday or even a day out.
Dr. Eljamel operated on my wife, Agnes Pearson, 15 years ago. It's affected her whole way of life. It's slowly got worse. We've lost friends. It's affected, we can't plan nothing. We're always in pain. Every single night I get wakened up with her in absolute agony, and again I feel so helpless. There's absolutely nothing I can do. But, it's absolutely horrible watching her going through what she's going through.
As a result of her botched surgery, I, as a niece, never got the opportunity to socialise with my daughter. I've never had the chance to introduce her to my friends. Can't go on walks together. I can't do her makeup. We can't come for dinner. Little things people take for granted. But in a heartbeat, I would take any of them.
Hi, I'm Becky, Shan's daughter. I had to leave school at the age of 13, become a full-time carer. This affected my confidence, social life and career growing up.
Hi, I'm Marie, Charlie's wife. Due to the pain Charlie suffers on a daily basis following his operation, our lives have changed drastically. We had to sell our business, which was also our home. We have paid for multiple unsuccessful private treatments, and we also have no social life. All of this has left me feeling financially, emotionally, and physically exhausted.
The aftermath of my mum's surgery was a lot of the time it was a bit of a different experience. I was only 3 years old, but as I got older, I got a lot more anxiety, stress and worry over when she goes into hospital if she'll ever come back out.
I had to take a long break from work after our daughter was left in a wheelchair, her past memory erased. She was left depressed, with no dignity, no self-esteem, and could see no future for herself, and this took a great toll on our family. She still suffers pain and consequences 20 years on, and as her peers went on to fulfil their dreams, hers were stolen, and he took her memories too.
I am the daughter of fate. I just want to add to everybody's videos that Eljamel didn't just change the life of the patients, it's the family and the friends too. It just to watch somebody so independent and so full of life and enjoying everything about life, to being dependent on everybody, can't do things with the grandkids, totally lost a career, just struggling financially, emotionally, physically. Everybody's lives change because you are on call all the time to help. It's not just how unfortunate it's a lifelong struggle for everybody involved. Something needs to be done.
My name is Emma Rose. I'm the daughter of Jules Rose. The impact that this has had on my family has been huge. It's caused not only distrust with the NHS system, but also distress to see my mum go through not only one but two operations by a man who was claimed to be a hero, but in reality was a fraud. But also distress as an adult to see my mum fight the battle that she does every single day with trying to get this public inquiry.
Hi, my name is Wes. I'm Julie's brother. Ever since my mum and dad died, the level of worry I have for Julie has increased substantially. And what they forget to mention also is the guilt that I now carry. It seems to have increased more and more. That I'm able to get up every single day pain-free and lead a normal, healthy lifestyle, something that my sister isn't able to do. That's the two biggest things that's impacted me, the worry and the guilt.
Every day I support my wife Susan with the traumatic flashbacks she experiences, the frustration and anxiety that she suffers daily. I assist her when she struggles with her mobility, and the tears and emotional turmoil are just some of the issues she faces daily that I deal with. Although the harm Eljamel left is visible, the deepest wounds are psychological and emotional, and these wounds will never heal.
Hi, I'm Martin's sister. I had to forfeit my home and career in East Lothian and move to Arbroath to care for my brother, who was left unable to perform basic personal care, such as bathing, dressing and cooking duties, due to being butchered by Eljamel.
Daughter, I was on a break from chemo while she was getting her surgery as I had leukemia. Eljamel was supposed to make her better with this operation, but ended up making her 10 times worse than what she actually was. This was supposed to help her as well as take care of me while I was in hospital with the situation, but it clearly didn't, and the sick kids had to obviously help her as well. Fast forward to now, and she is struggling every day. We're trying to help her with the best ability that we can. I worry about her every single day, and it's taken a toll on my mental health, but I'm trying to get through it while helping her.
That surgeon not only robbed me, but robbed my two brothers of a mother. He robbed my dad of a wife. He robbed my 4 kids of a grandmother. She's pretty much a shell of a woman now, who relies on very strong medication to deal with the pain, and instead of me depending on her and relying on her, she now relies on me and everybody else for help.
Hi, I'm Julia, Elsie's friend, for 25 years. Elsie can't do any physical activities or socialise the same as she used to, as she's always in so much pain. The impact this has actually had on me, as her best friend, is huge, as we've always been very outgoing as friends. Personality's changed dramatically. She was always the one full of fun, laughter when we went out. Elsie's mental health hasn't been the best over the last few years due to her excruciating pain.
I have only had to share the mental side of the pain that Helen endures daily. 13 years of dealing with Helen, having to cope with the anger of being told the operation was justified. It's clear they made mistakes. You don't need a medical degree to see that.
I feel the guilt of not protecting her. It has changed our lives, and not for the better.
Eljamel, I'll never forgive you, ever. You stole my mum's life. She never come back the same person. She wasn't the same mum. She wasn't the same grandma. My kid's disabled. I had cancer. And you left her a whole shell of her former self. I'll never forgive that.
I'm Liam, David's son. I've only known my dad as he is after all of his surgeries by Eljamel. I've never been able to do any sports with my dad like football, tennis, swimming or skiing, all sports my dad used to do. I feel very sad when I see my dad constantly in pain. It has made holidays harder to go on as his mobility is rubbish and he can hardly move.
I'm Aggie's eldest son. Sister was a joke. Can't see her getting any better, and the doctor's answers to everything. It's just keep pumping her through tablets. Like she's a human lab rat. Not acceptable. Something needs to get done.
I'm reading this out on behalf of a patient. My son says he can't talk about it. He was 9 years old and took on a lot of responsibility. My girls were 3 years and 9 months old. I couldn't care for them, and my son had to do a lot to let their dad work. He ended up a gambling addict and we split. I often wonder if our circumstances contributed to that. My son bathed and dressed me, changing dressings and emptying catheters. He did all the heavy lifting with the baby as I couldn't lift her. I could go on forever about what my kids have been through. The little ones screaming, leaving me after visiting in 9 miles. I had 7 operations in total. My kids deserve better, and now my granddaughters know I can't join in with most things. I'll be eternally grateful to that little boy, but please understand he can't go over it on camera. The trauma and living hell continues not just for the victims, but for families and loved ones also.